Well, about as I expected, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a tentative ceiling deal reached for the United States debt ceiling. So I imagine that the markets will like this news when they reopen on, Tuesday because of the holiday weekend. So, I mean, assuming that it actually, passes through all the votes and everything that it needs. But what we have here is something that you know you would think we would be excited about it or show that it's good news, but honestly, I mean, just let me read just a little excerpt from this article from Reuters. Da-da-da. Let's see. According to the speaker, I just got off the phone with the president a bit ago after he wasted time and refused to negotiate for months. We've come to an agreement in principle that is worthy of the American people. More on that one in a little bit on how it's quote unquote worthy. What they're bragging is worthy of us. Okay, and the president called the deal an important step forward. The agreement represents a compromise. Kumbaya, right? Which means not everyone gets what they want. That's the responsibility of governing. Somehow, even in, I guess, delivering what we should view as, I guess, good news, one side comes off as super petty and the other as super weak. Pretty disappointing stuff. And when you get into the actual deal, the deal would raise the debt limit for 2 years while capping spending. Wow. Take back unused COVID funds, blah, blah, blah. Add work requirements, etc. And my understanding was it would freeze. There it is. They've agreed to basically put a cap on non-defense discretionary spending. Basically freeze it at current levels for 1 year and increase it by only 1% in fiscal year 2025. That's the big accomplishment here, okay? The thing that's worthy of the American people. Let me show you why this is such a political grift, okay? So, this is a breakdown, percentage-wise, of U.S. government spending, okay? You have a lot of different categories. Now, it doesn't say in each one whether it's discretionary or not, but you can see some of the biggest pieces are things like national defense at 12%, interest on the debt at 8%, which obviously you don't really have a choice. Like, part of this whole thing is that we have a huge debt, and it keeps on going up, and you have to pay the interest to service it, otherwise you default. So that's not really something we have a choice in. And then you have some other things like entitlements and stuff. But for maybe a simpler breakdown. Okay. This is a breakdown of all federal spending in the simplest possible terms, okay? Mandatory, 62%. That means this is not discretionary. This is the opposite of discretionary. So this is off the table, off the bat. The interest, of course, is what we're trying to pay in order to not default. So that's off the table. So it's got to come out of the discretionary. Hey, I mean, this is a 30% chunk, so they can take out of this. But wait a minute. They said non-military discretionary spending. Well, how much is that exactly? Well, of our discretionary spending, and this is from 2022, but it stays as a percentage roughly similar, right? Military, almost 50%. Non-military, just over 50%. So the thing that they're basically capping, if we do a little bit of math, is half of the discretionary budget. Wow. And if we go back to the original thing, that means they're basically putting a cap on like 15 or 16% of the whole pie for a year. Oh my goodness, what a victory for the American people. Waves flag. This is such a sick, sad joke. I really feel like I'm living in freaking bizarro world where anyone can call this some kind of... Basically, nothing has fundamentally changed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the big takeaway. But yeah, the markets will probably be pretty happy that a deal was reached and blah, blah, blah. So there you have it. I hesitate to say I quote unquote called it. I mean, wouldn't have taken a Nostradamus to predict it, but it is what it is. That's my breakdown of this whole thing. Let me know in the comments what you think. Feel free to hop onto the Discord. Link will be in the description. Take it easy, everyone, and I hope you're having a safe holiday weekend. Cheers.